And welcome back to The Watchman. Well, polls have shown that the millennial generation, those born roughly between the early 80s and the early 2000s, are not as pro-Israel as previous generations. In fact, American college campuses today are often hotbeds of anti-Israel activity. With so much disinformation being put out there about Israel for these impressionable young minds, we need voices for truth on campus. Thankfully, our friends from the Jewish Agency for Israel have provided fellowships for young Israelis to study at American universities. We caught up with one of the Jewish Agency fellows from the George Washington University Hillel recently to hear how he is touching the lives of his fellow students and making a difference for Israel right here in Washington, D.C. Take a look.
I always knew that I wanted to be that guy with the hat of the fellow. I was on campus in Queens College. I was always that guy who people came to ask questions about Israel. If it was Palestinians, Christians, Jews, Hindus, everyone. I was the Israeli on campus. We can ask you everything because you have no shame. In a good way, not like. And I found myself having so many conversations about my country, about the conflict, about Israel, Palestinians, about culture in Israel, about the food, about the people. Do you think I'm gonna get accepted if I'm Hindu? They're not gonna check me everywhere. No one's gonna run at me with bombs. No. And I came back to Israel. I said, I want to do that. I want to do that. I think I can do that. I think I have the capability to do that. After 3 years in Israel, I had the privilege of going through the process of the Jewish Agency, and I found myself from all places in Washington, D.C., in the George Washington University campus at the Hillel. Birthright is a trip that started 17 years ago. That was established by 4 very wealthy Jewish families who said that they want to make sure that their kids are connected to Israel and their Jewish roots. And they came to the conclusion that it might be the best way to send them people to Israel for free and get to know this country. 17 years later, there's over 500,000 students or people who graduated anywhere between the ages of 18 to 26 who went on this trip. Today, after leading 5 trips, about to lead my 6th one, I can fully say from the bottom of my heart, it's the most unique opportunity that I was able to have. I'm seeing my country again, falling in love with it again. Because you take people for the first time, you have to notice all the little details. And that's including the tree that was always there, but you never noticed it. And like the people who live in DC, you walk next to the White House. It's like, okay, it's a house. And then people come to visit DC. Is this the White House? This is amazing. You know? Oh, it is the White House. Oh, it is Mitzada. Oh, it is the Western Wall. Oh, it is the Old City. Something magical is taking place. And to work with the students, engage in conversations about everything that has to do with Israel. If it's, guys, try this food. Guys, let's go to the Kotel. What does it mean for you to be Jewish in a certain place? Why is it that way? What do we see here? What is this wall over there? Is a big wall, small wall? How long is it? To know the facts. Some of these students walk around campus and people tell them, yeah, Israel built this big wall that separates between them and the Palestinians. Did it? Or it's only 95% fence, 5% wall because there were snipers shooting on Israeli neighborhoods. This is where I come in. Let me be the one who will ask you questions. Let me be the one who's gonna try to expose you and be the educator that will expose you to the Jewish world, Christian world, Muslim world. What is Israel? There's a lot of sides to it. Suddenly you see people who've never been to Israel being exposed to some things that are being told about Israel, such as Israel is an apartheid state. Israel doesn't treat its people right. Israel has separation between Israeli and Arab Israelis. And they look at the people who say these things. I've been there. Apartheid is the most remote thing you can say about Israel. To see people, Jews, Christians, standing for Israel, it's inspiring.